Hey there, Leigh here from MPG with EXP Australia. I do hope you are having a fantastic week. My job to keep you informed of what's happening in our property markets across Australia and locally here on the Sunshine Coast as well. You can check out my full article that I wrote this week and all the other property articles and insights that I post there at martinuzzi.com.au. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date, particularly relevant for those of you that may be in property mode, whether you're selling or buying or doing something in the near future. Subscribe to my channel there and stay informed. So this week in the headlines, a lot of talk about the USA and these tariffs, right? Now, I read an interesting article this week from Matusik. I subscribe to his real estate articles. I find them very informative. He's well researched, and certainly a lot of the information he shares I think is very relevant, particularly if you're looking to sell or buy property in Australia, as to what the markets look like and how this global situation with the USA and the tariffs at the moment is going to affect property prices here in Australia. He's kind of suggesting that we will probably see an influx or an increase in inflation. Now, we have seen the inflation softening. The RBA did a rate cut back in February. However, to his kind of disgust, they held the cash rate at 4.1% in their last meeting. So he's suggesting that they'll either make a dramatic cut, maybe rather than 0.25%, maybe 0.5% in their next meeting in May, or potentially even an emergency meeting prior to that to lower that cash rate, because he believes that inflation is going to increase. And what do they do to stop the economy from going into a recession? They try and stall it, so they'll reduce that cash rate. Now, just a 0.25% reduction in that cash rate leads to a 2 to 3% increase in a buyer's borrowing capacity, which is about $15,000 for the average person. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but in a tight market that we're seeing locally here on the Sunshine Coast and across Australia, that increase in borrowing capacity in a market that's already still got very good demand for properties will increase that demand and potentially push property prices up further. So we might see a next 18 to 24 months of continued property price growth, particularly here on the Sunshine Coast. I thought it definitely did soften last year, but it started to climb back up again. We've seen the last quarter across Australia, a 0.7% growth in property prices, year-on-year growth of 3.4%. In some areas, that's a lot more significant. I think Brisbane's about 9% year-on-year, Adelaide's about 11%, and Perth is even higher than that again. So we're seeing those property prices continue to climb, and that's really because we have a supply issue. There's not enough housing to keep up with that demand, and if that cash rate goes down and affordability, borrowing capacity goes up, we will see more demand come into the market and therefore potentially push that price up further. But there's only so long it can go on for. Historically, we've seen these trends play out in time. This seems like a longer period of growth than we've experienced in the past, but usually after that, there's a longer period of stagnation or flattening levels of growth. Now, that doesn't mean property prices are going to drop off the cliff, I don't believe. Property prices continue to trend upwards over a longer period of time, but we might see a longer period of property price stagnation or things where markets move a little bit slower from what we've been used to over the last 4 to 5 years. So again, that's my market update for you in a nutshell. Check it out at martinuzzi.com.au. Subscribe to my channel there. And hey, if you're in property mode, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, whatever it might be, we'd certainly love to help you. We'd love to meet up, have a coffee, and discuss what you're looking to achieve so we can assist you with your goals moving forward. I'm Leigh Martinuzzi, here to help you live more fully, have more meaning, and find more joy on your next property journey. Have a great day ahead.